I discussed yesterday the GameStop saga, where a bunch of retail investors using the Robinhood app and elsewhere, what the liberals and the media hacks call the great unwashed, decided they wanted to buy a stock. Okay, no problem. That stock was in a company called GameStop, which had been struggling. It's a retail outlet that buys and sells video games. Problem is, most people, go online for their video games now, not necessarily trading cartridges like they used to. So GameStop's in trouble. But a bunch of retail investors decided it'd be a good idea to buy the stock. Nothing wrong with that. And they essentially beat billion-dollar Wall Street hedge funds that decided that they were going to short the stock or bet that it was going to go down. One side, retail investors, bet it was going to go up. The other side, the professionals, decided it was going to go down, and they lost. Well, that upset the elites out there who really didn't like the hedge funds losing money. They didn't like that at all. Because as I said to you, it's about two things. It's about money, and it's about protection. Here's Charles Payne from Fox News yesterday in was a viral hit, and I'm sure is going to go more viral in the coming days. Here's Charles Payne saying, so what's the problem here? So a bunch of retail investors made money against a billionaire group of hedge fund guys. I'm not, knocking them. It's a free country. You want to get involved in a hedge fund? Go right ahead. But upset because a bunch of hedge fund guys lost money because retail investors want to invest in a company. Now you're all upset? Check this out.
First of all of this nonsense, all of this noise, all of this whining by Wall Street, it's making me sick. 140% of GameStop was short. I didn't hear one person on TV complaining about Wall Street trying to crush GameStop. 140% short. I told my subscribers, buy this stock, and they made a fortune. I also told them to buy Virgin Space. Virgin, we took profits on that today. Fizz, that's up huge. Tangers is up huge. Neil, you can't allow Wall Street to short 75% of a stock, and nobody says anything. Crush these companies into the dirt, and then when the individual investor makes money, everyone's up in arms. Oh, they're going to lose their shirt. Don't you think people are trading? If it traded 80 billion shares today, people are ringing the register. I have a kid who bought a house. He made $50,000 and bought a house. So yes, some people are going to lose and some are going to win. But if they want to change the rules of the game now because the general public is making money after decades of the shorts crushing thousands of stocks into the dirt. I have watched stocks being crushed completely to zero, and no one ever whispered anything because those stocks didn't have Wall Street sponsorship. They were small names. Maybe they went public through a reverse takeover. Whatever it was, the shorts have had their way with the market for decades. No one's ever complained about it. So I am thrilled. If you were going to try to destroy a company by shorting 140% of its stock, you have to accept the fact that individual investors are playing the same game that you're playing, and now you're losing.
So there it is, Charles Payne, lighting the world on fire with that one. He's absolutely right. Why is everybody so upset? Well, they're upset because the protection racket big business and the Wall Street big guys have had forever, the protection racket they've had by donating to politicians and by ensuring that they use knowledge asymmetries to make money themselves, broke down yesterday when a bunch of retail investors beat them at their own game, and now everybody's pissed off. Now, listen, just to be clear, I don't do dopey talking points on the show for the sake of fact. Hedge fund guys, I say hedge fund guys, everybody hates. I don't hate anybody. I just deal in the knowledge arena. Okay? I don't have a problem with people investing their money in hedge funds. What I do have a problem with, however, is what I think the real issue right here and why all of the elites, Wall Street, and I'm going to show you how many people are losing their minds over this GameStop story. Again, just the fact that a bunch of retail investors made money and Wall Street didn't. You would think only Wall Street would be upset. We lost money. No, everybody's upset. Biden, big tech, the Biden administration, politicians, everybody. Reddit. I'll get to all these stories in a minute. But why are they really upset? Because there is a value to shorting stocks and going long on stocks, calls and put options. Shorting a stock means you're basically making a bet the stock's going to go down. When you puts in certain cases, call options where you go long on a stock, you're betting that the stock is going to go up. So you're guaranteeing you can buy it at a certain price. That way, if it goes up later, you still get the cheaper price. You buy it at the cheaper price, you sell it at the price it is at. It went up, right? There is a value to that. What's the value? Let's think this through before we instinctively jump on the hedge fund guys. Because again, I want to deal with facts. And again, I'm on the side of the retail investors here, just to be clear. But what they're upset about is people have made elitists have made the argument for years that the value in being able to short stocks and in options and going long on stocks is knowledge. That a bunch of people who are super smart, here we go with that article again, not you, the great unwashed deplorables, a bunch of people on Wall Street who are super smart, have knowledge you don't, and therefore, if they're shorting a stock and telling you we're making a bet on Wall Street that GameStop stock is going to go down, that knowledge helps for a more efficient market, that we can all benefit from that knowledge, that we should all take that as a signal. Wow, these Wall Street guys are saying stocks should go down. They're smarter than us. Maybe we should all take a tip. There's a value in hedge funds. But notice how when thousands, potentially hundreds of thousands of retail investors, right, make the same argument that, hey, our knowledge should contribute to a more efficient market too. There's hundreds of thousands of us. We're actual consumers who go and buy stuff from GameStop. How come our knowledge doesn't matter? And the minute we contribute our knowledge to the market by putting our money in and buying the stock, betting it's going to go up, why else would you buy a stock, right? Why all of a sudden do the elitists go crazy? Politicians, again, the Biden administration, big tech, Reddit, all of them, they want nuts and they're trying to shut these retail investors down. Do you get the argument? Paul, does this make sense? The argument used for years amongst elitists, I have to repeat, you have to understand this, has been, options are great. Hedge funds are great because they're super smart. And when they tell you a stock's going to go down and they short it, you should all pay attention because they're so smart and knowledge matters. Again, when hundreds of thousands of people then go in and say the opposite, the stock's going to go up, who don't belong to a hedge fund and just buy the stock because they heard about it from friends they trust, then all of a sudden that knowledge doesn't matter. If there was ever a story that was a better example of the bifurcated society we live in now, I haven't heard it yet. Bifurcated, fork in the road. Wealthy elites in the upper class and upper tranche of society, and us, the Walmart great unwashed crowd, who are not entitled to any. Our knowledge is irrelevant. Their knowledge matters. We have to shut this down. You don't believe me? Here was the Wall Street scam with shorts exposed. These hedge funds and really wealthy folks, they have media platforms you don't. They go in, they short a stock like GameStop. They then go on TV and talk the stock down. GameStop sucks. It's terrible. Don't buy GameStop. What happens? Because they have big social media platforms and big media entities to voice their megaphone, they short the stock saying it's going to go down. They go on TV and use the social media saying how bad the stock sucks. The stock goes down. They then make a fortune. That's what Charles Payne is talking about. That's kind of a scam, no? Is that really a knowledge game or is that a casino bet? A casino bet manipulated by elites and really wealthy folks, their ability to get out there in the media and talk a stock down, they bet against. Is that really a knowledge game or is that a casino bet? A casino bet where you have some advanced knowledge of where the roulette ball is going to land. They're just pissed off because a bunch of retail investors now have their own channel. Reddit. Forums where they can talk openly and coordinate themselves. Well, that wasn't going to go over. Look at this article by the Washington Examiner. Because again, the elites are pissed. Remember what today's show is about. The bifurcated society. Elite, wealthy politician folks, big tech, wealthy suburbanites. They have one America. The America you live in is for idiots. That's what they believe. And you will be treated like idiots like them. Washington Examiner. Story be up in the show notes. Bongino.com/newsletter to access the show notes. Please subscribe to the newsletter. It's free. Washington Examiner, Reddit forum attached to GameStop boom briefly goes private. So just to be clear, it's okay for elites to go on TV, talk a stock down when they have money in the stock price going down. That's A-okay. But when a group of retail investors, the great unwashed, go on Reddit, which is just a forum where you can exchange ideas and talk to each other, it being very simplistic about it, but that's basically what it is. When they use that forum to coordinate, like the elites coordinate, that can't happen. Now that people made money getting over the coordination problem and overcoming the prisoner's dilemma, look it up. I discussed it yesterday. It's an economics problem. They've overcome the coordination problem of the prisoner's dilemma, learned to coordinate to buy the stock themselves. That's got to get shut down. So it was temporarily shut down yesterday. Oh, it gets worse. You say, Dan, all right. Well, let me get to here from the piece, the Washington Examiner piece. A Reddit spokesperson said the company remains committed to preventing the circulation of content that violates the law. Who's making allegations of any law breaking here? Reddit's site-wide policies prohibit posting illegal content or soliciting or facilitating illegal transactions, the spokesperson told CNBC. We'll review and cooperate with valid law enforcement investigations or actions as needed. Nobody broke the law. Nobody was misleading anyone I know about. May have been some isolated instances. A bunch of people went on Reddit and said, buy GameStop. It's as simple as that. What's illegal about that? How is that any different than elite billionaire hedge funds in conjunction with their big tech, big media partners and their social media platforms going on the media saying GameStop sucks. Oh, by the way, I shorted GameStop and I'll make a lot of money if you believe me. How is that any different? And why are DC elitists, not just liberals, but rhino Republicans as well, protecting these elitist snobs? And again, I'm not instinctively jumping on the hedge funds are bad. Hedge funds run properly can be valuable when they're not playing it like a casino, but they are in the knowledge business. When you have smart hedge funds people who see problems with companies and short it, it's probably a signal to you, if they're being ethical, hey, if I'm in this stock, maybe I need to think about getting out too. That's valuable. Not playing a market casino game where you just go on TV and trash a company after being invested billions in shorts on it. Here, CoinDesk. Check out this piece. Again, I had an ask yesterday. I'll ask you again today, please. Please subscribe to my email list. I need to communicate with you directly because of this very reason. I don't know when we're going to be shut down. Bongino.com/newsletters where you subscribe to my newsletter. It's free. You can read this article there by CoinDesk. It's a good one. It wasn't just Reddit that had to shut this down. God forbid the great unwashed made money and learned to coordinate themselves. CoinDesk, Wall Street, and big tech clamped down on GameStop-style pumps. Biden administration is, quote, monitoring the situation. Here's the subhead. Market chaos. Market chaos. Notice how it's chaos when you make money, not when hedge funds make money. Market chaos, fueled by large groups of Reddit traders, faces strong opposition from Wall Street as the Biden administration looks on. Here we go again. I got a screenshot from this piece that's a classic. Now that, God forbid, the Walmart shoppers out there, those smelly people the FBI talked about, God forbid they make money saying, I think GameStop can make a comeback. That can't happen. Everybody, all of the super smart people, not us, not you, Joe, either on the phone, or you, Paula, or me, not us idiots. But when you start making money, these people get really pissed off. Freaking furious about this story. Here, the NASDAQ CEO, this is from the CoinDesk piece. You got to read this. The NASDAQ CEO's involved now. Adina Friedman told CNBC Thursday that her firm is actively monitoring the social media chatter and will halt stock trading if the content it sees matches with unusual activity in stock. Keep this up. Unusual activity in stocks. Again, it's only unusual because you're making money. And not Wall Street and their now Biden administration buddies. Oh, Dan, I thought Wall Street, I thought they were in it for the Republicans. Really? Wait till I get to that next and I show you the actual data. You think, wait, you're dumb enough to think Wall Street is backing Republicans anymore? That's hilarious. It goes on, the piece. Bloomberg reported that Wells Fargo, big banks, also banned its advisors from making stock recommendations on GameStop and AMC Entertainment. It goes on. It's not just Wells Fargo, big banks, the NASDAQ. God forbid you make money. All the important people are pissed off right now. Government officials and regulators are also watching. The Biden administration's economic team is, quote, monitoring the GameStop situation, Jen Psaki told reporters. The SEC's involved too. Got to get the bureaucrats in there. They also released a statement yesterday saying that they're, quote, aware and are actively monitoring the ongoing market volatility in the options and equities markets. Tell me again how we live in a free, fair, and equitable society where everybody's given a fair shot at success. Tell me that one more time so I can laugh in your face.